fingerings in the next 5 years. Therefore, in 2025 financial year, 60 ponds will be constructed and stocked as provided for in the annual budget. In addition, 30 fish cages will be installed in Chipepo area on Lake Kariba. All these strides are aimed at contributing to sustainable economic growth and enhancement of nutritional value for the citizenry. Under modernization of the Defense Force, Chairperson, the Ministry will continue with the modernization agenda in order to fully equip and expand the Defense Force in keeping abreast with modern technological advancements. Underwater reticulation, the Ministry will endeavor to improve the welfare of men and women in uniform through the provision of effective water reticulation system in all military cantonments. In this regard, the Ministry has set aside kwacha 82,200,000. Chairperson, allow me to express my profound gratitude to Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, President of the Republic of Zambia and Commander-in-Chief of the Defense Force, and also to the members of this august House to ensure that the Ministry fulfills its mandate of defending the country's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The Ministry will also continue contributing to the national food security and economic development. And indeed, our war cry here is that in times of peace, the military, the Defense Force, must be actively engaged in productive activities. That is a strategic policy guideline that we have. Chairperson, may I also thank the men and women in uniform for carrying out their duties with integrity, professionalism, and dedication. I therefore call upon the honorable members of this august House to fully and anonymously support my ministry's budget estimates for the year 2025 as presented. Chairperson, honorable members, I thank you.
Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Honorable members, I'm sure we've been quite attentive and we've listened to the Minister's policy statement. Are there any clarifications, any interventions at this point? Honorable Sam and Honorable Piri.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Honorable Minister.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Honorable Minister, it's just a clarification I want to get from you on page 7 where you talk of the milling plants. Honorable Minister, indeed we are very grateful with what your ministry is doing, especially with the meal. But what is your policy in how you are giving centers? I ask so because like in my constituency there are a bit rural areas, there are people who can be agents, but for them to be allowed to be agents it's not easy. They have to travel right into town to get this meal, making it again expensive. What is your policy in setting up such agents in there? Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much. Also, Honorable Minister, in addition, members, you answer that one. We've constantly heard the pronouncement on the milling plants by Zambia National Service to be placed in all the provinces, and you are currently operating 3. I have special interest on this one because for Western provinces coming to my constituents, when are we having these milling plants, Honorable Minister? That's in addition to the question by Honorable Simbao, since they are related. Honorable Piri.
Thank you so much, Chair, and thank you so much, Minister, for your policy statement. I've noticed with interest on the allocation of personal emoluments. And also because marrying it with the much need, you have talked about acquiring the milling plant in all the 10 provinces, meaning it will come from the 1.7 billion. And also there is the challenge of infrastructure that I have mentioned, that you need to make sure that our also of major concern. But underwater, you not mentioned about sewer. I hope it also encompasses sewer, because right from Kabwe, if you see the sewer system in Barak, it is a sorry. So maybe comment is this allocation, which 82.5% goes for personal environment, and what is remaining, is it
member to declare I'm not allowed to enter barracks, but that's on a lighter note. Honorable Minister, maybe on the question he asked, I've loved also you emphasize more on accommodation for personnel. I think it has not been highlighted more. From our previous interaction, when we toured last some of your, I don't know whether there is anything being done to alleviate this problem very well. Of course, about
Honorable Minister, I have a number of concerns in your policy statement, but let me begin by one on page 2, where you indicated that the previous budget was 9.1 billion, and the ministry did not receive any supplementary budget during the period under review. My question therefore, Honorable Minister, is that does it mean that the ministry had sufficient or adequate funds that it couldn't even ask for supplementary budget? How was it that there was no supplementary budget? Did you have enough or adequate funds to cater for all your operations and indeed according to the budget line that you had presented? Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Honorable Minister, you may attend to those interventions, and then if need arises, we will take another set.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair and Honorable members, for the questions. Starting with the first, that is by Honorable Simbao, which concerns the milling plants. Yes, we have 3 milling plants, and from the onset, I must say, these are certainly not enough to cater for the demand that we have seen throughout the country. Our policy is, in terms of distribution, which is the area you really wanted to look at, is, excuse me, is we want to encourage youth groups, societies, and any prominent business persons in various areas to be supplied or to come and procure the milling meal. Of course, there will be conditions that we have to agree on with that particular vendor, so that we do not have a situation where you buy and then you go out there and exaggerate the prices. And so we have no capacity to distribute the milling to every corner of this country. But we encourage people, those who can, to be able to come to the plant. They will be allocated a portion in accordance with the demand in that particular area, and we expect them to transport the same to their localities. And of course the transport cost is what now you agree upon with the milling plant, which you slap on top so that you cater for your transport costs. And then there's also a small margin in terms of profitability. And so that is the policy right now that stands in terms of distributing the milling meal. Of course, because of outages, some of the vendors might not get the milling meal as frequently as they would have wished, which is unfortunate, but that is the current situation. You asked about also the plants. When are we having the plants, isn't it?
Yes, Honorable Minister.
The milling plants.
The remaining provinces.
Okay. We must say that Kaoma, as you have mentioned, is earmarked for a plant due to it's highly productive in terms of maize, and so it qualifies for one. And right now it's we are being assisted by the Chinese government. It's an initiative which has allowed us to have 10 more, one for each province. Right now, as we are speaking, the Chinese came through to do some pre-feasibility studies so that they can basically come up with where to put these milling plants. And we'll start with, I think, almost half. Is that PS? Yeah, almost half, because it has to, it's not done within a year. So we are going to start with half, and that is very soon, because they came already for pre-feasibility. They will come again for the last time, and then should be able to go through the processes of procurement and construction of the same. So I must say within the next year we should be able to start the construction of the first 5. Okay. Then coming to the question on personnel emoluments, the budget, the 80% plus going to personnel emoluments, and only I think 17 point something, less than 20 to capital projects per se. And the question is this enough? Obviously it's not enough. It is not enough to do some of these projects that we envisage to do. But unfortunately we have to cut our cloth according to what is available. And so I would say with the little that is availed, try to do the best we can in terms of provisions of water, in terms of provision of water and sanitation, and in terms of also the housing that is so according to our survey, we need about 60,000 housing units for the whole defense forces, and for the for the army is about 14,000 housing units. And that's a lot. But what we are trying to do is think outside the box and get some interested investors, and they are coming, so that maybe together we can work with them and establish some of these, build or construct some of these housing units, and we'll come to an agreement in terms of financing. They will pre-finance, and then probably through the housing allowance and things like that, we'll be able to pay back. So we cannot only rely on the treasury to construct these houses. We want other investors that we're talking with from various cooperating partners to come in, and together I think we'll be able to solve some of these building problems. In terms of water and sanitation, we are including water and sanitation. I don't remember giving you permission to go into Kohima Barracks, in Chindwin Barracks. Nevertheless, you saw what you saw is true, and we are combining water and sanitation, because you cannot have one without the other, lest you be affected by cholera. What else? The supplementary budget. Supplementary budget, we did not have supplementary budget, simply because that was the guideline, given the fact that we had drought and an emergency that was declared. Yes, we requested for 1.3 billion kwacha in supplementary budget, but as I said, due to the problems of drought, this request was denied. And if you noted, the budget, the 2024 budget, had to be realigned to ensure that we take care of the drought conditions and situations, and so it fell off, unfortunately. But that's what happens with resource limitations, which we had. The Ministry of Finance could not give us the 1.3 billion that we requested for. Thank you, Chairperson.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Honorable colleagues, we still have the PS this afternoon, and therefore I only allow 3 more last questions, especially to those who didn't ask, if any. But I note Honorable Chibuye. Any other? Honorable Twasa? 2, and we'll end there. Thank you.
Once again, thank you very much, Chairperson. Honorable Minister, on page 9 of your policy statement, under industrial production, you have categorically indicated that there was a directive by His Excellency the President of the Republic of Zambia directing that there should be no more importation of uniforms. And to that effect, you have actually indicated that you are collaborating with the Minister of Finance to revamp the existing tailoring factories in all services. My question therefore, Honorable Minister, would be, since the directive, how far has the ministry moved in terms of actualizing the presidential directive? And have you factored the component of funding to that effect in the 2025 budget? Thank you.
Thank you. Honorable Twasa.
Chair, thank you very much. Honorable Minister, I want to respond a bit to your last submission, and where you talked about some personal monuments and I like when you said that you cut the cloth according to its size. But it's actually, I want to call it a rumor, but which is a very strong one, that your ministry is one of those that has overemployed. Is that true? And when you talk about the emoluments which are here, it is also rumored, which rumor maybe you can clear off, that some are not even on the payroll. So how do you hope to cure that with this budget which you have presented? Thank you very much.
Honorable Minister, you may take up those two.
Yeah, the first rumor, I didn't get what you said.
Honorable Twasa, please
okay.
repeat the...
Thank you very much, honorable members, for the questions. Following the directive, basically it's a Buy Zambia campaign, that we should, as much as possible, buy from Zambia, so that the money that we use for that purpose circulates and improves the liquidity in the economy. So it's a noble directive, and the services, as it were, as at now, they actually tailor, okay, those uniforms. They are Zambia National Service tailors. ZAF is also tailoring, and ZAF is also tailoring. What basically we do is we of course importing the materials, because we don't have the materials here until maybe when we revamp Mulungushi Textiles, Madam Piri. When we revamp Mulungushi Textiles, then they give us the materials, and then it will be complete package in terms of availability of the materials itself and the tailoring. So we are doing that tailoring as at now, and yes, we have factored that into our budget. The rumor mongering, it's incredible how much we rumor monger in Zambia, but let me put to rest that the Defense Force has not overemployed. Okay, we cannot overemploy. We employed what we are able to service, and so there is nobody who will be employed and not be paid. No, it is not possible, and it will not happen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Thank you very much, colleagues. I think we... On recruitment. Okay, I thought we can handle that with the PS. We can handle it with the PS in the afternoon. So allow me, sir, to thank you sincerely with your team for having come through, and we really value your presentation. I also want to commend the PS. I note that he has already done his homework. The strategic plan is here, implementation plan, the work plan for the year, which makes our work much, much easier, especially for the afternoon. So, sir, we can only thank you and your team, and I think we'll say the formalities later in the afternoon, since we are still together. For now, we want to release you, Honorable Minister, and just thank you sincerely as we look forward to the other session in the afternoon. And then you allow me to just withdraw the immunity that we conferred on you, knowing very well that we all enjoy that greater immunity as Zambians, which we move with day in, day out. Otherwise, we are most grateful, and we may break off. For the afternoon, colleagues, those who are coming, we are starting exactly 14:30. So I'd love if we are here at least 5 minutes before time. Then we can do justice to our schedule. Otherwise, we once again thank you, sir.
much for still staying with us on Parliament Television. And that was the Minister of Defense, Honorable Ambrose Lufuma, making a submission in the Committee of National Security and Foreign Affairs. And he was making a submission on behalf of Head 77 Ministry of Defense. And the Minister has indicated that in this year's budget, the ministry has been allocated, or rather a proposal has been made for the allocation of 10 billion 200 million, and this as compared to last year, which was the allocation for last year was 9 billion 131,959,000 kwacha. So there's been an upward adjustment of 11%. So the allocation for this year is 10 billion 200 million. So this is the allocation contained in the 2025 national budget. So this is going to be scrutinized and scrutinized by the Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs.
So the committee is expected to continue receiving submissions at 14:30, and at 14:30 we expect the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Defense to submit before the Committee on National Security and Foreign Affairs. And Pauline, later in the morning we had the Committee on Media, Information and Communication Technology, which also did receive submissions. So we had that head 26, which was Information and Media, head 26, we had that IBA was allocated 78,580,000 kwacha for the year 2025, and thereafter we also had ZANIS, and the proposed amount allocated to this is for 2025 is 73.9 million kwacha.
Yes, so we continue receiving updates from the various committees that are sitting to scrutinize the 2025 proposed sector budget, and also to mention that the meetings are being held in various places, right here at Parliament buildings and at Mulungoshi International Conference Center, and various committees are sitting to scrutinize the proposed budget in the proposed 2025 budget.
So just now we see you at 14 hours. Continue watching Parliament Television, the station that is dedicated to bringing Parliament closer to you. Good afternoon.